Hi there Poke fans, I'm your humble host Charles Fan and you're watching Pokemon Gym Challenges. Obviously we're not going to do the Blaze Chamber first, we're going to do this chamber first, the Flood Chamber. And it's called the Flood Chamber because they are trying to drown us away. That's his win condition, drowning us. But let's see how this battle goes. Now I have at least 3 options which I can use to fight him with, and I think I might start with Inferno since he has the biggest weakness against water types, but he does have Iron Fist and Thunder Punch, so that makes his Thunder Punch a 90 base power instead of a 70 odd, which is on par with the Thunderbolt. If I can outspeed and get him, and provided that he doesn't have a really high defense for that specific attack type, I mean physical or special, it's probably going to go fairly well, but I have to outspeed, and that is if I go with that strategy. But I prefer to go with Chestnut, which gives me an advantage. It's probably a bit slower, but Wood Hammer is going to do a decent amount of damage. I decided to play it safe and leave Infernape, which is my weakest Pokemon but fastest, in the background as a final resort Pokemon. I did give my Chestnut a Shower Bell so that he may regain some health for each time he does damage. That is what I was trying to get to, because Wood Hammer does recoil damage. Ah damn, I get taken out by a Psychic, or a Psychic type attack. Okay, so Scrafty could probably work quite well over here because of his crunch. Ah, but he goes for Dazzling Gleam. I completely neglected the fact that he might have a Fairy type attack. He gets 4 times effective against fighting and dark types. That was well played for this bugger, but I do manage to take him out. Now shall I switch? I probably have to. Cobalion is my only other option except Infernape, because they both have electric type attacks, except Cobalion doesn't have a weakness to water types. Also not against rock types that this is. Now fighting would have done equally well against this rock type. Okay, let's see what Sacred Sword does. That doesn't do enough damage. I should have gone for the electric type attack. Ah, but he switches out. Does he have some sort of thing that makes him switch out because of getting too weak? Okay, Thunderbolt. Okay, all I have is Volt Switch. Why am I doing a Sacred Sword? What is the purpose of doing that? He obviously goes for Earthquake. How did Cobalion survive that? Volt Switch. What? Why am I going for Iron Raid? I am messing this whole thing up. Now I go for the bloody Volt Switch. I was probably trying to sacrifice Cobalion, but he survived 2 attacks, so I decided to stay. But did he only have 3 Pokemon, or did I already fight 4? I only remember Glowitzer, that freaky other guy. Okay, yeah, he did have 4. He had the Star, me, and this Gyarados. Okay, that was 4. But why does he only have 4? That is stupid. These modern generations of Pokemon are stupid, because up to about generation 4 or 5, I think. 4. or maybe 5. Every Elite 4 member had a full team from the start. Around about the Ruby and Sapphire. Maybe Diamond and Pearl as well. I think up to there, roundabout. All of the Elite 4 members had full teams. And then when they started with Black and White, that's when they started reducing the amount of Pokemon that the gym leaders and the Elite 4 have. Although I think in Black and White they still have a full team, more or less. Which chamber is this? I've neglected to see. I think this is... Is this... No, this is Malva. This is the fire... The blazing chamber. She's going to try and dehydrate us and scorch the living crap out of us. Now for this one, I still have at least 2 Pokemon that'll do quite well. Poliwrath is going to be top of that. I wish they had given Poliwrath the Vital Throw attack. Vital Throw and Circle Throw. Because his body shape is very well suited for those kinds of attacks. And I go with Inferno. Why am I... I know. Close combat should take out this Pyro, even though it's a female. Not that that means anything in Pokemon. Inferno grew to level 66. Talonflame is next. Okay, we're going to stay here. And Inferno is going to go with his Thunder Punch. Why didn't they take out the Talonflame? Brave Bird is probably going to do a significant amount of damage if it doesn't take out Inferno in a single go. And it does. Okay, that does take out the Talonflame as well, so no one gets experience. That is stupid. Okay, Poliwrath, you're up. Inferno did his job by taking out at least half of her team. Which is stupid because she should still have 4 Pokemon for Poliwrath to deal with. Surf takes out Torkoal in a single attack. Chandelure. Okay, for Chandelure I have at least 2 Pokemon that can deal with it. I'm going to stay with Poliwrath or else he doesn't have any work to do. And Surf should take out this Chandelure, but if he manages to survive, which he doesn't, my Dark type would have been the next option. And I've defeated Malva as well. Now we can re-battle everyone after we beat the Elite 4 and have a more challenging battle, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the whole thing. Okay, so the last chamber has opened up for us. Let's just revive Inferno over there. And then we are going to go and face Diantha. Hyper Potion, let's go. Who shall I put up front for Diantha? Okay, yeah, I think Hawlucha is the best option to be up front. Probably. Considering who she starts with. Now I may be wrong about who she starts with. Radiant Chamber, by the way. She may also start with the same Pokemon. Why don't I ever remember these bloody Coke's names? I mean, I've been playing Pokemon since the start of Dawn. She has a bit of a conversation. I don't know if it's intimidation tactic or just to put me at my ease or make me underestimate her. Because she is quite pretty. Look at that bloody thigh gap. Damn. All she needs is long hair. And she'd be... Yes, we start with the same Pokemon. I should have started with Infernape. Or with Cobalion. Stone Edge should do quite well, I think. Stone Edge does a little bit more than half damage. I get poisoned in the meantime, but the damage he has inflicted on me is not as great. Well, I needed to use Hawlucha at some point in this battle. There we go, we've taken out the Hawlucha. Our Hawlucha gets damaged by some more poison, and she is about to send out Auroras. Now any of my Pokemon can actually deal with it, but let's do Infernape. Auroras is a rock and an ice type, so any fighting type attack is going to be devastating. I could use a fire type attack, it's not going to be as effective, but let's do close combat. Take out this Auroras one time, like this. And there we've done it. Auroras is out for the count. The Tyrantrum is a bit more tricky. He's a rock and a ice type, and a dragon type. Now I could use a water type attack, which is strong against the rock type, rock typing, but I can also use the ice typing, which is strong against the dragon typing. But both of those kind of counter the other weakness, which makes Tyrantrum quite a difficult Pokemon to deal with. Don't get me wrong, my attacks are still super effective, but instead of doing 2 times damage, it does about 1.5 damage. Or 1.75, something like that. Gourgeist, a grass and ghost type. I think Scrafty is the one to deal with this one. Now, how many Pokemon have we dealt with so far? 3 so far. So she at least has, it looks like she's gonna have a full team. Okay, Ice Punch can also work, but Crunch is the attack that is most effective over here. So what does this attack do? Yeah, just did nothing. It probably did do something, but I don't know what it was that it did. Ice Punch should... bloody restore. Granted, I would also be using it under the same under similar circumstances. The Crunch should do it now. And he does that crap over there. It's a ghost version of Dive or Dig Phantom Force. It's a good attack, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of the similar effect as Dive or Dig. That takes out that Gourgeist, and now we should... Okay, Goodras first, so that is number 5. That is a mistake. If this Goodra also has Sapsipple, this Goodra is going to become trouble. But I have Dragon Claw, so that is better. Doesn't affect Sapsipper, and it is super effective against the water and dragon type. Let's see what Hoodhammer does. She does a full restore. Probably, yeah, this one does have Sapsipper. My timing was a bit stupid because now it's much stronger. So my Dragon Claw isn't going to do it. I was wrong. I get a critical hit, taking out the Goodra in a single attack. Nice. Okay, now it's our last Pokemon, the Gardevoir. Let's take Cobalion out for this battle. That's specifically why I have him. Steel versus Fairy. Now, if this fails, I still have my Infernape with a Poison Punch or Poison Jab or something like that. But let's see what Ironhead does. She Mega Evolves of course, but this first attack is still going to be on Gardevoir's original stats if I remember correctly. And it does take out the Gardevoir in a single attack. There we go. All done and dusted. We have defeated Diantha. I wonder if this has the benefit of some bedroom fun. I mean, I'm just in the body of a kid. I'm not really actually a kid. I do understand the concept of let's leave it over there in case there are some kids that I do watch. But it does involve some adult fun that leads to offspring. Okay, so this is her chamber. Well, it's the champion's chamber, so technically it is mine now, so I'm taking over her room. You know, Diantha, you could stay here with me. Just don't tell Serena. Okay, guys, come out and let's put you into this little machine over here so that you can show everybody that you have become champions. And here is the Hall of Fame and my squad. Funny how our Lucha has been put in the Hall of Fame twice now. Once by me and once by Diantha. Well, at least once by Diantha. And there we have a good squad for us. And there we have it, guys. We have become champions. But now we first have to go to a crowd of people and officially acknowledge it in public. And this is my parade. My victory parade. And I'm surprised at the amount of people that are out to congratulate me on my victory. Hey, why is Serena over there? And why is this little girl next to me? Why isn't Serena next to me? What's her problem? Is she jealous because I have defeated the champion before her? Or is it because she found out about me and Diantha? Ah, I get a medal. The medal is probably because I broke up the terrorist organization. You're welcome. You adults should have done it. Granted, I am an adult, but I am pretending to be a kid for nefarious purposes. So this guy, the former king and immortal being, is challenging me to a battle. Let's see how this is going to go. I think he only has 3 Pokemon, which means that I have yes, he only has 3 Pokemon. Look at those 3 Pokeballs over there. And the 3 empty dots. So he's at a severe disadvantage against me. But he's been living for about 1,000 years, so... And he's only on level 60. How did that happen? Why am I doing a fly? He goes for a lava plume, of course. Fly does take out the Torkoal. It shouldn't have, in my opinion, but it does. Cassiglif is next. Maybe Infernape, maybe Cobalion. Okay, Scrafty can also work, because that takes advantage of his psychic weakness. But he is flying as well, so he can still attack me with his flying type attacks. Let's see what Crunch does. Ice Punch will also work. Head Smash will also work, and I've never used Head Smash yet. So let's see how much damage Head Smash does. It does take out the Sigilyph. And I do like the animation quite well. Golurk is next. That's a ground and a ghost type. Okay, Chestnut, I think. I mean, I did start off the whole journey with Chestnut, so we may as well end the journey with Chestnut as well. Shadow Claw will work, but I'm going to go with Woodhammer because of his ground typing. And I want to have a same type advantage. Or stab. Same type attack bonus. Shellbell does help a little bit, and I've defeated Mr. Immortal away. Now for this last scene that redeems him slightly. Let's enjoy this last cinematic before we start our analysis of what I believe the best Pokemon would have been in 3 different categories. If any of you have watched my previous series and you've seen this last episode of each series, you will understand what I'm getting at. But here is the last cinematic. This Flabebe returning to this guy because he has seen his change in heart. Technically, this Flabebe should be something similar to what do you call that? Mimikyu. Should be a dark or a ghost type and a fairy type. Something like that. Because he's been revived from the dead. And it now has a red and black flower. Something that you don't actually get on this or in this region. I don't think you get this flower anywhere in the world of Pokemon. Now they may change the thing later on in future generations that you may find it in some region, some obscure region somewhere. But this is supposed to be a once-off Pokemon and flower combination. And the Flabebe is defined by the flower it has. Not in terms of typing, but in terms of aesthetic. So that is the end of this playthrough. But let's start with the analysis and let's check out the best starters to use if you're going to specialize in fighting types, but you're only going to use starters. And in my opinion, even though there are 3 fire types, you can actually get a full team of fighting type Pokemon. There are 2 grass types, 3 fire types and 1 water type that you can use as your in your team. That means that you only actually have 4 types that you have, which is grass, water, fire and fighting. Those are the only 4 types that you have access to. But I think these 4 Pokemon could actually do us a decent job. If there is anyone out there that does these kinds of playthroughs, you could try this team and see if it actually is a good enough team. Now, I'm not going to discuss their specific attacks that they may use. You can decide for yourself. I think the Inferno does need Iron Fist as its ability. And the chicken needs a speed boost as its ability, and it does need to be able to mega evolve. I think so. What do you guys think of this team? Now, looks like I put the graphic up a little bit long, so let's just wait until the next graphic comes up, which is going to be our legendary team. You may notice that I cut out a little bit of the end credits because this last graphic took a bit long to come out, but this is what I believe is the best team to use if you're having a legendary team. And you'll notice that half of the Pokemon that I've selected is from the last generation. Then I have Mega Mewtwo X, and I have a Ghost type and a Fairy and Fighting type. I think this, in terms of stats, they are definitely the strongest. But I also think that they provide quite a decent amount of cover, and covers everything that can be covered, more or less. I mean, I have a Dragon type as well over there, and I have a Fairy type, and I have a Psychic type, and a Ghost type, and a Flying type, and a Steel type. I think together they are able to have all the attacks that you can possibly have, and they cover every type that needs to be covered. And lastly, we have the best ultimate team that you can actually have. Now I have three Mega Evolutions. Let me start again. It looks like I have 4 Mega Evolutions in this team. Now you can't Mega Evolve all 4 of them at the same time, but you can do each of them as the need arises. That obviously cancels out the others that can also be gotten, but I think if you're going to go for the ultimate strongest team, that these are the 6 Pokemon that should be used. Now all of these are relative to the Pokemon that has come out up until this moment, and you will see over there Infernape, or not Infernape, Annihilate is on this team, a Ghost and a Fighting type. Now this is in the first generation that this Pokemon has actually been introduced, just to give you a time frame as to when this was considered. After this generation in which Infernape was introduced, there may be better Pokemon that come out that may change what the best fighting team would be. But if I was a fighting gym leader and I was either in the Elite 4 or the 8th gym leader or the 16th gym leader rather, this is the team I'd use against an opponent, a challenger that is looking for his 16th plus badge, or looking to challenge the Elite 4 for a second time. What do you guys think? Is that an appropriate response? Anyway, please consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like and sharing it with your friends. Thank you for those of you who was loyal watchers of this show, even though it dropped down a little bit there. Thank you and goodbye.